I'm Nicole Gauthier, the plant pathologist here at the University of Kentucky, and I am part of this lettuce trial, this lettuce drop trial that Dr. Rudolph mentioned. And we showed you a lot of this last year. This is year 2 of a trial. So we have 3 factors that we're working on here. So we have 4 cultivars of lettuce that we're looking for resistance or tolerance to lettuce drop. We are also looking at planting date, February, March, and April, with March being the ideal time typically for lettuce planting and lettuce harvest. And then the third component is the amount of water, so it's water holding capacity. So we have high water and low water is what we're doing. And we talked about this last year at our spring field day. We will link those videos here. So here we are in year 2. Last year we had a lower amount of disease. This year we have a lot more disease. So this to my left, this is planting date 2. This lettuce was planted in March, so it's about a month old. We are getting ready to harvest planting date 2, or those that have actually survived this sclerotinia or this lettuce drop trial. Again, last year there wasn't as much disease. This year we have a lot more disease, and I want to talk about that and why this is happening. So sclerotinia, sclerotiorum, is the pathogen that causes lettuce drop. It's also the same pathogen that causes timber rot in tomato and white mold in beans. So sclerotinia, the fungus, is a soil-borne pathogen. It lives its life in the soil, and it's a cool season pathogen, so it prefers cooler temperatures. We only see it in the spring, typically in April and May, and by that time it's pretty much gone. So when we see timber rot in tomatoes, it's early tomatoes, and lettuce, of course, is a cool season crop, so we're seeing it here. Again, this is planting date 2, so some of this lettuce has already died, so it's been affected by sclerotinia. I see sclerotia, which is the overwintering propagule for lettuce drop. And so what we're doing here is, as we're harvesting these lettuce cultivars, we're taking different analyses, but long story short is we're leaving diseased plants in the field. So from last year to this year, we have increased that amount of inoculum in the field. So we always talk about sanitation. This is a picture perfect example of where sanitation matters. So leaving this lettuce in the field here, the sclerotia drop and they overwintered. So we didn't see sclerotinia disease last summer or fall. It was dormant or latent. And here it is again, it's popped back up this spring. And so a lot more dead lettuce this year. This was again our planting date 2. The plot behind me there is also planting date 2, and the one here next to me was planting date 1. It's been harvested for about 3 or 4 weeks at this point, and we took the good lettuce and we left the bad lettuce behind. We left the diseased lettuce, which from a grower standpoint you should never do. But overall, at this point, we have lost more than 1/4 of our lettuce heads to sclerotinia or to lettuce drop. So it's a big deal, and you know, a lot of times we talk about rotation, and this is an example of why rotation matters. To rotate into a non-host crop would have helped start breaking that life cycle of the sclerotinia fungus. We didn't do that because this is a trial. So as the pathologist, I'm really happy to see this much disease. As a grower would be devastated by this much disease, but we do see actually this much disease at the grower level. So number 1, rotations are critical, and number 2, sanitation. Sanitation is an absolute must across the board, but this is an example of what happens when we didn't clean it up. We left all of this inoculum here in the field. So we will link some publications down below and some other resources so that you can go back and you can familiarize yourself with any of the information, the life cycles, and of course the management options for sclerotinia diseases, including lettuce drop of lettuce.